Hey, I'm NichBoy and welcome to the Nugget for Thursday, the 16th Nugget. Today on the show, news, and then I wrap up E3 with my good friends Rad Monkey and Toby G Unit Venus. You ready for this, Tobes?
G Unit.
I've changed my mind. Alright, Microsoft are slowly turning the Xbox One into a weird-looking PC with the revelation that mice and keyboards are coming to the console. According to the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, the ability to use a mouse and keyboard on the console is coming over the next year or so and will make Xbox Play Anywhere more attractive to developers, particularly for titles that are designed around the PC control scheme like MOBAs or RTSs. Does that mean there's gonna be Dota on my Xbox? Because if that's the case, I can just throw my PC out right now. Except for this next bit of news. According to Microsoft Studios general manager Shannon Loftus, the all-powerful Scorpio is actually unlikely to have improved frame rates over the Xbox One, whose games currently run under 60 frames per second. Additionally, multiplayer PC games with Play Anywhere enabled will also be capped at this frame rate. All of this is due to competitive reasons to keep the playing field level. The Scorpio does run true 4K gaming though, which Loftus clarified, saying that games are being developed in 4K or higher and then downscaled to run on less powerful consoles. Shit, I probably shouldn't have thrown out the PC. Confirming this news was old mate Phil Spencer, stating in a Eurogamer interview that if you don't own a 4K television, the console, quote, won't do anything for you. Spencer went on to say that Scorpio is for the 4K gamer, and that's what we designed it for. This is all super confusing. I understand that you want to put out this new console, but you've kind of also explained that in the trailer, this was the console that we all wanted to make. The future of gaming, the true high-end gamer. But then you go, it's really only for 4K. Is that what all the teraflops are for? Just 4K? If I don't own a 4K television, I don't need the Scorpio? That's the only reason is 4K gaming? You have to work on your messaging. Stop Todd Howard getting all excited in your trailers about just 4K. Moving on now to Battleborn news. Do you want to spend more money on the game? Well, boy howdy has Gearbox got some stuff for you to buy. Starting today, Battleborn will now have a currency called Platinum, which can be traded in for skins and other cosmetic items that don't affect gameplay. It's kind of like in Overwatch, except Overwatch has loot boxes and better gameplay. Next up, and Ninty are still slinging games at you. An RPG named Ever Oasis was announced for the 3DS during the company's Day 2 Treehouse livestream. The game has you managing an Oasis village while looking for upgrades by dungeon crawling and puzzle solving in a similar fashion to the Legend of Zelda series. That sounds like the most Nintendo-ass Nintendo game ever. They also announced Mario Party Star Rush for 3DS, which finally does away with turns and allows up to 4 players to take their turns at the same time. You can get your party on in November. And they even gave us a few new gold nuggets about the free-to-play AR game Pokemon Go, which is releasing for iOS and Android in late July. Gotta nug 'em all, Pokemon Go! A wearable device named the Pokemon Go Plus will allow players to find and catch Pokemon in-game without having to take out their phones. The wearable device will cost $34.99 American dollars, and there's likely to be some connectivity between the app and the upcoming main games, Sun and Moon. And staying with announcements, upcoming Ocean Explorer game, Abzu, now has a release date. Developed by Giant Squid and headed by Journey's art director Matt Nava, the Ethereal Explorer is set to be released on the 2nd of August on PS4 and PC. You know how I say I want more boat games? What I really want is more underwater games. I want to start in a boat and then dive off or it sinks or whatever, get me underwater. That's the real space. And finally, to celebrate their own 30th birthday, Ubisoft are giving Uplay users a free PC game a month for the rest of the year. This month, we're treated to 2003's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, which was a fun little action title back in the day. Happy birthday, Ubisoft! We got a prezi for you too. It's Thing of the Day. Ah! Let's take a look. Thing of the Day. Reckless. Disguised Toast, a well-known member of the Hearthstone community, has taken the next logical step for the game. Using Tabletop Simulator, Toast was able to recreate the Hearthstone experience through virtual reality. While the project is quite bare bones at the moment, Toast has stated that he will continue to work on it over the next few months. Just what I've always wanted. Hearthstone injected straight into my eyeballs. Let's take a look. Thing
Song of the day.
Reckless. I'm joined now by Rad Monkey and TobyGV G-Unit Venus to discuss E3, hands down. Guys, what do you think of the week?
It's been a big week, hasn't it?
It has
guys?
been a pretty good week.
Yeah. Lots of announcements, quite a lot of new IP, which
Yep.
is exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't think we'd see maybe that much new IP.
Right, I was almost the opposite, where I felt like I was excited for even more, where I felt like a lot of the things that we saw were things that we knew were coming, or at least suspected. There weren't too many that were radically like, oh, I had no idea this existed.
Radically.
A lot of stuff to get excited about for over the next year.
Yep.
But normally we have things that might be coming out in 2 or 3 years. This time we
Yeah.
got stuff. It's all coming out this year or the start of next year, which is amazing.
Unless you're the EA press conference, in which case it's look at all these people working on video games that
yeah.
are coming out in sort of 2025.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
kind of what I mean, like we're actually getting stuff, whereas I feel like a lot of E3s, it's like, you know, you see Last Guardian or Cuphead and then you see that for 2 or 3 years after that, whereas this one I feel like, hey, look at all the games that we actually have for you, so.
Yeah, I think that they did a really good job with that. And also, I think just production value-wise, in terms of how the whole week has run, I think it's been going really well. I
Yeah.
think the press conferences were all, solid and good. There wasn't anything sort of weird and just sort of terrible going on, which makes for a nice
Yeah.
I feel,
Ooh.
I feel like this year was the easiest to actually watch all the streams and the press conferences
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so we're now gonna just break it down to a few, opinions we had about the games that we saw. We're gonna start with what tickled your nugs. So Toby, you go first. What did you see this week that you're excited about?
I really liked seeing the Legend of Zelda yesterday. I think Nintendo made a really good call not doing a Nintendo Direct because last year's felt absolutely empty because they had like 3 or 4 games that were there to get excited about. Legend of Zelda looks amazing. There's lots of color. It looks more like a Skyrim sort of game rather than your typical Legend of Zelda, which I'm excited to see.
And so Zelda, was there anything else that's got you hyped?
The game that they showed at the end of the Sony press conference tickled my nugs.
Days Gone?
Yep. We saw the trailer at the start of the press conference and we were like, what's this? It's just a bike riding game. And then they showed us an extended gameplay and just the huge amount of zombies that all seemed to be individually rendered just chasing after you. That looked really exciting. It looked very Last of Us, but I'm thinking it's going to be able to stand on its own.
I heard a rumor that they originally were going to announce Red Dead Redemption sequel.
Dear God.
And then because of Orlando, they actually dropped it from the press conference. It's something to do with the content or maybe just even the name or whatever. And so at the end, they put in the demo for Days Gone. Bradley, what tickled your nugs?
My nugs were well and truly tickled by Detroit Become Human. I love post-humanism, so I'm really excited to delve into all the androidness. And We Happy Few, which looks really creepy, but interesting. I really enjoy things that are just like a little bit creepy, and it looks like it raises some really interesting themes, about taking the joy and all that kind of stuff. What is real, what is not, the Matrix.
I am very, very excited for We Happy Few. That's been on my radar for a while. I want more Bioshock style social
Bioshock,
looks
that's
at
what it-
games.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally has that feeling. I think Detroit Becoming Human looks fantastic. I, like you, I'm a big fan of David Cage's games. I also think that trailer was so good at explaining what that kind of game is and how this game is going to work to get you excited about storytelling in video games. It was so effective at communicating the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that most trailers, a lot of the time you hide that because you're trying to make it look as cinematic as
That's
possible
true.
and you don't see how the game actually plays. Just loved that.
That's
So
fair.
We Happy Few as well. I, of course, was thrilled by Crash coming back.
Yep.
So excited for that, and the wording was it's a ground-up remake for the PS4, so I'm guessing it's in the style of Ratchet and Clank. So it's not just an upscale remaster.
Yeah,
They're
right.
building everything from scratch, which
Yeah.
would be incredible. And then the last thing I was impressed by, I'm not the biggest God of War fan, and
How good did that
generally,
look?
generally it's because it's just this angry guy just killing everybody, whereas this felt like he had purpose and pathos and stakes. It was like, he has no stakes in the other games. He doesn't care if he dies.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's like kid and him.
Yeah, I feel like it's the correct movement for that franchise,
Yeah.
and it still had those epic fights, which is what I loved about God of War.
Yeah.
Where he's just like jumping and he's hitting the lava monster and there's lava like spurting out of its head. But then he's also a father and he's got this little kid and he's like teaching him how to hunt and stuff. Yeah.
I saw a great theory, which was the kid is actually Kratos. And that's Kratos' dad, is the
Right.
father. Because there was this thing where when you taught the son something, the kid got experience, you don't get experience. And so there's a theory floating out that you play as baby Kratos, and then you grow up in the game.
But why would his dad be bald and look like him?
Because they share the same genes.
No, but
You look like your dad.
you've not seen my dad.
I have. He looks exactly like you.
Just with shorter hair.
Okay, we're going to move on now to Too Damp. These are the things that we weren't necessarily impressed by. Tobes, hit us.
New Pokemon. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. It looks more of the same. I'm thinking, nah, that's enough. I need a gritty MA-rated rebooted Pokemon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're
Whoa.
saying no more Pokemon in the same style as we've had?
We need something new. Like all the Pokemon they've revealed all look exactly the same as the last 6 generations. The other thing I wasn't a particularly huge fan of was how Microsoft showed us the Xbox One S. And then following that, they just said, now here's all the reasons why you don't need one.
Stab the S in the back.
Yeah, you can play all of these games on PC now. And also, here's a new console coming out next year.
Yeah, it's they're really going to have to work on their messaging. I think that, I mean, even in today's episode, we talk about the fact that the Scorpio, unless you have a 4K television, Phil Spencer's saying don't buy it because you're not going to get anything out
You
of
don't
it.
have a 4K television?
Does anyone actually have a 4K television?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, enjoy your Scorpio.
Moneybags Rad over here.
I think they're really going to need to focus their messaging because even now I'm still going, I don't know which one I should be buying. I don't know if I need to buy any of them. Yeah, it's
Go
going
PC.
to be interesting.
Yeah.
Just go
Just
PC,
get a PC.
get all your games there.
Yeah.
Rad, what disappointed you?
Funnily enough, it's everything that excited Toby. And I feel slightly bad, but sorry, it was shit.
Yeah.
So I thought Zelda looks shit. Nintendo aren't doing anything exciting. They just ride off the back of nostalgia. And if you don't have that nostalgia, everything that they put out
These
looks like
eyes.
trash.
Yeah.
He's just nodding in agreement. He's like,
I-
He's like, I
hear
know
you."
I'm in so deep. And then also Days Gone. I thought Days Gone looked crap. Like it was just zombie hordes. It felt like the story was really confused because it's just this macho guy riding a bike being like, I love the feel of her skin and when she smells my hair when I'm riding my bike. And then he has this macho fight with his mate. When there's zombies around, like, guys, settle down. Wait until the zombies are gone, then you can talk it out, not punch each other off roofs. And the zombies were, like, way too boring. We've seen those zombies 1,000 times before. It was just kind of like unlimited bullets in your gun shooting down these zombies and... it wasn't Last of Us. Last of Us was about stealth and, like, calculated movements. This was just, whee!
Why did you develop Days Gone,
Why?
Toby?
Why, Toby?
I'm
To
not
be fair,
excited.
I think the Days Gone, the demo with the bullets and stuff, I think that was demo cheats.
Maybe.
But I am actually a bit with you on that one. I was excited about what Bend were going to do, and when this came out, it's like you've taken The Last of Us, which was all about relationship and character, and even though you can tell there is character in this, I mean, the amount of zombies coming out that he's just shooting, I
Yeah.
was just going, I don't want this at all.
Yeah.
And while it looks great in terms of the amount of zombies on screen, the amount of character models that are swarming in active AI and that sort of thing, I was just like, I don't care. I don't want to shoot. I don't want to just stand here shooting things the whole time. And if I need to run away and hide, I've got The Last of Us. Like, I've got that series as like that sort of stealthy thing. That then ties into the next thing I was disappointed about with. Too many zombies.
Yeah.
There are too many zombies. Stop making zombie games. There
Yeah.
was Days Gone, there was Dead Rising 4, there was State of Decay 2. I
Oh,
don't
yeah, State of
care
Decay.
about these zombie games. I mean, I'm sure people do, but
A couple more games with zombies in them, and I'm always happy to see more zombie games.
I don't know what else we can do with zombies that we haven't already done.
I love zombies. I'm so into like zombie culture in a way. But yeah, totally fatigued on it. They're not doing anything new with
Yeah.
it.
And then finally, the big one, Final Fantasy 15 demo was shit. That game is going to be shit. Oh my god, that Final Fantasy demo was so boring.
So boring.
Final Fantasy VR as well.
And,
Get ready to throw up.
And all the reviews I read for that as well, people going hands-on, just going, that game was not good as well. Yeah, I am so scared for you guys who love Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 15. So yeah, definitely, that to me, that was the biggest thud.
Before we move on, I think there's one more thing we have to mention, which is Death Stranding.
Yes.
Because we haven't talked about it yet.
Yes.
There was no gameplay, but amazing trailer. Norman Reedus butt.
Norman
Reedus,
Yeah.
Norman Fetus.
I let out a
Well
little
done.
scream when his face appeared. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Norman.
Yeah, and it was like,
With a baby.
it was creepy, and Baby was way too small though. I think Kojima has
Tiny
some
babies.
issues with
Yeah.
like proportion. I'm really excited for the like feeling that trailer kind of gave you.
Yeah. And
I don't
also,
think the game's gonna be like that.
it's not going to be that at all.
No.
The game is not going to be that at all. It's going to be a top-down sort of like 2D puzzler. I saw, speaking of wild theories, I saw like a reading of that trailer, which was the
That
baby.
the baby is him?
The baby is Kojima, and, like, and that like Norman is birthing Kojima's new game. Like,
Right.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What's with all the
Yeah.
hand tans, though?
Yeah.
It's
There's so much weird stuff going
Kojima
on.
just likes to touch.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, what a reveal. I mean, just bringing him out, the cockiness of that man just going, I'm back, and the crowd just going nuts. Yeah, just making it rain on Kojima. And then finally, what was the best press conference for you guys? Tobes?
Sony, absolutely. I totally agree with your opinion from Tuesday. They took what a press conference should be, and that is exciting for everybody to watch, make it entertaining, and they had a whole orchestra there which played over most of the trailers.
So impressive.
It was just absolutely great viewing.
I'm gonna be boring and say Sony as well. This
Yep.
was fantastic, and the conductor of the orchestra looked like a magician, which just tickles me.
I am going to be boring as well, and I think Sony killed it. And I think for all the reasons that both of you said, especially the magician thing, but also because they just went games.
Yep.
They were just like, we're not even going to show developers standing there going, this is a really exciting time to be an Xbox fan. Even though I think Microsoft put on a really solid conference, I think it was really good, and then Sony came out and they were just like, boom, games everywhere. Here's like 5 exclusives straight
And the
away.
games were exciting too.
Yeah, and great demos. I mean, even you look at the Bethesda one, which I feel like Bethesda had a great press conference last year, and then this year they came about and they had too much time for too little things, and that Dishonored demo
And they just kept
stretched on
showing
for too long.
Dishonored.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sony. Mwah. Sam,
Sony.
Sony. It's a 4-way Sony party here. John.
Yeah, Sony.
5-way Sony press conference. Well done, Sony. Finally, before we're done, I just wanted to read out some of the things that you guys have sent in over the last couple of days that you're excited for. Liven Edie? Liven Needy?
Can you do them all in voices that you think they would have according to their display picture?
This one's a cat, and I figure all cats sound like me. I can't wait for Zelda. It looks amazing. It's exactly what I want in a new Zelda game. So, Toby, you've got at least one friend. And Doug W., who is also cat, says, super excited. Looking forward to the shake-up of the traditional Zelda. Soph Lee says all the games with Horizon in their titles are tickling my nugs. So that's Horizon Zero Dawn and Forza Horizon. Jack Muir says, not excited for more consoles. Nah, but for reals. I feel as though they are trading away the one reason I purchase consoles, an accessible, cheaper opinion that all my... an accessible, cheaper option, I think you mean, that all my friends are on the same page with. Yeah, the messaging there. You are going to be able to play all the games on all the Xboxes, but some of your friends are going to see it in 4K, and that's going to really hurt you.
Or just get a PC.
Or just get a PC. Josh Taylor Derwin says no Red Dead Redemption sequel or remaster. I think we're all on the same page there.
Sad face.
Phil Brush, I'm a bit over all these remasters. Generally, it's a graphical overhaul and the story hasn't changed and the controls are the same. The Skyrim redo is supposed to be adding mods to the consoles, but to me, the best mods are the ones that make the game look pretty, so I've already seen it.
So don't buy it, but I want to buy it and have the game run higher than 60 frames a second.
Why don't you want Rad to have nice things? Oscar Cook Abbott says, Crash Bandicoot, and then 1 million exclamation marks. Oscar gets it. Hassaim Ali says, I want to be a dancer, daddy. Ella Kay says, everything in the Sony conference got me excited. Meanwhile, Xbox, just scale-bound for me. My brother is fangasming over Forza somewhere. Smack Flash says, by the way the trailer is directed, you can tell Spider-Man is a real passion project for Insomniac. Not sold on the suit, though. The suit looks terrible, but I can look past that. Who liked it? Sam, what do you think of the Spider-Man suit? Yeah, it's not the worst. I just feel like they've emphasized the spider.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
he's the Spider-Man.
That is true.
So.
And he's ripped. Wow, I wish I was 16. El Jamal Tay Camel, I'm gonna say, says Ghost Recon equals nugs tickled. And finally, Luke Rapson, oh my god, I still have cool borders. Luke, you and I are about to have a sleepover.
What?
I really hope you're over 18. All right, that is it for today's episode of Pocket. My Pocketeers, let us know in the comments below what tickled your nugs, what's the dampest, and the best press conference. Answer all those things, and please suggest some talk-throughs for next week, and ask Pockets for tomorrow when I will be asking my Pocket questions. So I need questions to ask it, otherwise I just kind of like sit there and I have nothing to say to it. And while you're on the internet, check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers? Then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter at Good Game TV. Follow Pocket at NichBoy, at Pierre, at GG, at Monkey, at Sangi, and for the next one day at Toby G Unit, Toby GV Venus.
G Unit.
G Unit
His
indeed.
actual Twitter is TobyGV.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch that through all that.
Toby GV. She's at Unhurried Yo. Are you ever gonna change that to Red Monkey?
I like having my name.
You know he's gonna change his to Baby Sam.
Are you?
What?
Yep.
No,
Sure.
don't do it.
News. And then today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by someone, but we don't actually know who you are. Either we lost the name or you, I don't know, was sent in unknown or something. So if you made it, come and claim it. That is it.
Say that like Arwen.
Didn't I say it like
No.
that? If you made it, come and claim it. All right, that's it for today's episode of My Pocketeers. Until tomorrow, Nick, bye out.
Right out!
G Unit out.
G-Unit.
Yay!
Flip!
That's why you've just been sitting there staring for the last 5 minutes.
Did you plan that?
John, you're keeping in nugs at the beginning? No. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to. That's the whole reason that I said something to you. No. Yeah, people want to feel like it's kinetic and fun, right? Guys, you want to feel like it's kinetic and fun? You don't want, like, rehearsed. You want energy, right? Look at that energy. And there's your end card. Shit, we're just making content left, right, and center.